Hello YouTube, Damo_23 here, and welcome back to another episode of the Paris 13 Atletico build. We are, of course, in the save that is titled Better Than PSG with the question mark. Maybe one day. Maybe one day. Since we last met, we had a bit of a scout last night. There has been no playoffs, and I have a reason as to why that is. But firstly, I'll get this out of the way now. Do give it a like, do subscribe to the YouTube channel, and let me know how your first year in your main save went with your team and how your save is currently going in the comment section down below. Now, since we last met, I did do some scouting last night, waiting for the playoffs to kind of factor in. What has happened is apparently in France at the moment, they're going for a restructured rebuild. So now there are 18 teams all going down here with us, right? Only 2 teams going up, 4 teams there. But as you can see in Ligue 1, they have now gone from 20 to 18 teams. Next year, this will become a playoffs, and then the winners of that will play team in 16th, and then this will become 3 teams that go down because I believe it will be 18, and then the next year after that, then we're going to see less teams go down from this division. So I think this year there's no playoff. The next year there will be a playoff in the French national division to go up, and then the year after that it should be pretty even as I think they're trying to go 18, 18, and 18 to make everything standard. But in France at the moment, some are 20, some are 18, so they're trying to go through this 3-year rebuild in order to get playoffs to work or not work. Now, that's all said and done. Secondly, I do have some signings to talk about. They are on the screen because while scouting and being a semi-professional club, you want to get your business done early. And the main reason you want to get it done early, and that's my biggest tip here, is you want to stop professional clubs going in and going, oh, why are they interested? Let's offer them a full-time contract. And the player goes, well, you know what? Full-time over part-time, they take the full-time club. So I've gone in, I found a few really nice gems for the positions we need, and I've signed them in as of right now. The main reason I am back on the main screen is I have downloaded the Zealand skin. My streamers asked for it. I've done it. I've also, apart from the Paris badges, I've put in what they call a mini stadium screen thing. Now, that's what our stadium apparently looks like in real life. You can tell it's very outskirty. But if you go to Paris Saint-Germain, for instance, you get that nice little cut screen. Or for me, as a Liverpool fan, you get to see Anfield. I think the Zealand pack actually comes with those photos anyway, so I think the two are trying to mirror it up, but it's not as clean. I'll play around with that a bit more, but I thought I'll give you guys a little bit of the visual aids of what's going on. But let's get into the signings, because that's why we're mainly here. And this episode is going to be talking about tactic, the signing, and what we're planning to do next season. Now, we have got 3 guys in here. Firstly, this guy's an 18-year-old centre midfielder. They saying centre mid on attack. I think he's a very good backup Segundo Volante on support for this level. I also think, though, he's a very good ball-winning midfielder when you have a look at him as well. What he's got at 18 years of age is he's got 14 tackling, 14 technique, 14 first touch, 14 decision-making, 14 acceleration. 15 for me is a golden stat because I do play around my skin colours, and anything with 15 above is that elite level of stat. If he actually develops off the bench and he's coming in as a squad player only 625 pounds a week, the 18-year-old could develop, if we stay in this division for another couple of years, into a very good player at this level. Or if we get promoted and he plays some game time in League 2, he could become a very good League 2 footballer. So I'm very happy with him coming in. As you can see, he has the potential to be League 2 and is of the level of this division. Secondly, though, as 2 guys that we needed. We needed a ball-winning midfielder and we needed a right back. The 32-year-old Anthony Rogi got relegated last year with CS, who are now in the French 2nd division. Since we've gone in and had a look, we needed a ball-winning midfielder of the level. He played at a 6.87, played 68 games total for CS Sedan, which makes no sense. But yeah, apparently he played 68 games total, which, the game glitching out. But if you have a look at him, he's very well-rounded for this level, and he's a very good player for this level. As you can see, he's a natural ball-winning midfielder on defend, and we've actually signed him with a contract to say play ball-winning midfielder on defend, which he will. He can also be a backup Segundo Volante, and there's a reason why I keep bringing that up. And as you can see here, tackling a 10, marking of 8, not particularly good. Physically, though, for this level, good. Mentally, for this level, very good. And he's got ability to go up and down the park, influence the game, and I think he's going to be a very good signing. The fact he averaged a 6.87 in a team that got relegated, with us, with not better footballers, but us in a more defensively minded system that should help him, I think Anthony Erogi is going to be really, really good. Now, lastly is Mateus. And Mateus, yet again, can play Segundo Volante on support fairly well at this level, right? Statistically. He's also a pretty damn decent ball-winning midfielder, arguably our best one. We needed a right back. And when you have a look at him as a right back, even though, you know, the game's like, oh, yeah, he's okay there, mate, I think you are a right back. Yes, at the same stage, he's left-footed. And yes, we could go to an inverted wing-back on support. And I'm actually thinking about moving that side to an inverted wing-back on support because we got Faramadi out there, who's right-footed. This guy can do a lot. It also means if we ever lose a long-term injury to the left-back position, which is Lucas, who's currently wanting to leave because we rejected 60K from another club in France. He's very good at what he does. He can go up, he can go down, he can dribble, he can cross, he can do it all. So I'm actually thinking that there's going to be the slight tactical tweak that he comes in as an inverted wing-back on support, which allows Diarra not to play as a winger on attack, still plays an inside forward on attack, because I want him to go out goal, but still look to go on his right foot to cross and have someone that's going to help him out. And when you get the team in where it needs to go, inverted wing-back, Deary comes to the bench over Godini, right, as well, and Rogi comes in to the ball-winning midfielder role on support, on defend, the team on paper looks good. The two people that aren't at a 4.5-star level, which if you take out Diarra, who is our best footballer, 4.5-star, decent League 2, 4.5-star Barker, right, at this level is a leading national division player. When you take in Castro's not natural in the position there, and you take in that the new right back that we signed there in Pocolio, I'm just going to call him Matthias there, Matty at right back, we might just nickname him Matty. You know, and he's not natural there, but he will be with game time. You already look at that team and go, you know what? That's a team that could go up this year. And I know that's a big call, and I know that our prediction for this season isn't, you know, to get promoted. It is to finish 7th because we've developed the squad really well. We're in a good spot. The only thing I will say is we are a bit of an older squad, but at this level, being semi-professional, that's kind of what you get. It's a bit of an older squad. But I think if you have a look at that, we've got some really good players. Now, in terms of people that have left us as well, we have let some people go on freeze. Simmer and Luzioff have gone on freeze. And if you have a look at release players, there's a few others in there too that you may know. Our vice-captain has left as well. I just didn't think he's good enough at this level. And to be quite fair, there is, and I believe our captain left too. Musa Diarra might have been captain here. But yeah, look, at the minute, we've made some changes and we got no key, big players picked. Main reason for that is we actually don't have any highly influential players. Don't get me wrong, I do think that we're going to definitely get Diarra and Haddad and Karamoko or Castro to come in and be the players that we need them to be in the team hierarchy as well. Now, what we are going to do is, not in the episode here, but what I'm going to do is give you a snapshot of pre-season when I do go live a little bit later. Tactically staying the same. Inverted wingback with Diarra is what we're going to try in pre-season, let you know if it works or not. I just want to see him come into this role here, make us maybe a bit more defensively solid, and help Diarra in this area to get balls into the box or have pop shots at goal, because I think he's decent enough to get up and down. With 10 long shots at this level, do what you need to do, mate. Do what you need to do. Welcome back, YouTube. We're in the middle of pre-season. Played a couple of games. Main reason we're here, we have to talk about a player that we picked up on trial that I've put a bid in for, and his name is Ramil. Now, Ramil, if you have a look at him last year, 17 goals and 7 assists at 32 appearances last year in a team 2 divisions below us. At the moment, we've put a bid in for him on a contract. After putting him on trial for the last 2 weeks, he's played the last 3 preseason games, and we're going to show you some highlights of him right now. But he's wanted by Le Mans, who got promoted from our division. He's an ex-PSG, French youth prospect. What it allows me to do is actually move Diarra as an inside forward on the left, coming in onto his natural right foot, and it allows Ramil to actually stay wide, look to break the opposition out wide on the right, and allows Matty to stay in this spot and actually just, create an overload on the inside, which on pre-season looked really good. By the way, Matty has looked fantastic. Now, if we go to our schedules here, as when we go to PAUFC, who are a League 2 side who we pumped, this is the first thing we saw Ramil do. And we're just going to show you his highlights, not all the goals, but we did play really well. And Matty getting a couple of assists from set pieces is, if we reverse the camera angle and go back 10 seconds here, and when we win the ball, is I love his positioning. Now, Haddad always was a bit too deep for us, and Haddad never had the penetration. Ramil's picked it up, and he just drives in the space, which Haddad never did. Gets in, great ball, good finish, great goal. Love it, right? Now, against weaker opposition, it has to be said, against a team 2 divisions below us, saw him score 2 goals, right? Saw him score 2 goals. And I'm very happy with how he's played. And for me, he's come in and done well. Yes, this one's a tap-in, but he's in the right spot. Haddad only got me like 3 returns a year last year as one of my better players. If I could bring Haddad off the bench to stretch opposition's entire games, it's a good spot to be in. A very good spot. His second goal here, at the back stick, flying header, great header. If he's going to produce those sort of chances at the back stick whilst creating and driving at players, we have to pick him up, I feel. We have to. Lastly, if you compare him with Haddad, better speed, he's in green. Better physicals, better vision, better in the air, better mentals. If you have a look at him, similar footballers technically, similar in areas mentally. There's some things that Dad does poorly, some things he does well, vice versa. Physically, though, has just got more world-roundness to him. And he's very, very good at what he does. If you have a look at Dad in total, 2 goals, 9 assists. It's not bad. He's got actually 11 returns last year. So maybe he's a bit harsh on him. I thought it was only 4. I thought it was 2 and 2. You know what it is? My dyslexia, just here, 2 and 4. But yeah, look, I think having him come off the bench, backup option, he's decently decent if you look at his attributes. With a guy who is at a level, we've also improved our coaches, so we've actually got a head of youth that actually can tell us how good a player is. That's at a good level at this level, is our best winger on paper. I think we've got to go for that. I think we do indeed. So, hopefully he signs. We have his trial ending in 2 days' time. We have got an offer in for him. No one else has bidded. When we come back, YouTube might be the end of season and talk about any other future signings, or of course, just a recap on how preseason ended, and then thus we're looking forward to a season game. Welcome back, YouTube. The end of the episode is upon us. We have finished preseason, and it's been a good preseason, but a preseason that has had some interesting developments for sure. If we go into the schedule, you will see that we did have a good preseason. No one of note that we played. You will note, though, one of the teams we played in preseason is one of the teams we drew to, and one of the games that we should have won last season. Yeah, that was FC Villafranca, who we drew 0-0 with 20 shots. We hit the post and the bar twice. One of the 2 games that we should have won in the run-in, which would have saw us got promoted in Season 1. We smacked them 4-0 at home. Yes, that is a bit annoying. Please note, next episode we are playing Rodez AF, newly relegated Rodez AF. Then we play QRM, newly relegated, and Red Star, who at the moment are predicted to finish 2nd in the league. Fifth now in the league. So yeah, we got QRM and Rods both there, and Red Star. I won't give you a triple episode game. I will focus on match day number 1. But that is as hard as a start as we could have asked for without getting Noya or Nancy, who did not have a good year last year, let's be honest. Now, why is preseason interesting, Damien? Dynamics, managerial support. It's on its way up at least now. I dropped Daliet to a squad player because he's not really going to play because I've been really happy with Matty. Everyone kicked up a fuss. Jay Lucas, who we said we'll sell if we get 120k bid, came to me in the meeting with 5 other players and said, I want him gone. I said, look, that means dropping one of your other players. And he says, but you risk losing altogether. I then said, I don't care. But if it makes you guys happy, I'll do it. And he said, no, I'm not happy that you didn't do it initially, so I want to leave. And because he's kicking up a fuss now, I've got managerial support out the window. It did drop my team cohesion down, but we did win a few games. Club atmosphere went from very good to medium. But at least we've repaired that with a good pre-season of form, and hopefully it will continue that run of form as well. In terms of the last thing we need to see is it doesn't matter anyway because he's out injured, and so is Diarra. They both have picked up injuries in pre-season. He did a pulled calf muscle. There is a slight likelihood he could make the bench for the first game of the season as the Thunder is coming in. It is horrible weather out here in Adelaide today as of filming this. And Diarra did do an injury as well. He pulled some ankle ligaments. Yet again, could be rushed in for the opening day, but more likely both players next episode are going to miss the opening day and miss a very big game away from home against Rodez AF. Till next episode, which will be that game. I'll see you next time. Let me know who you would have signed in this window or what position you would have signed. Give it a like, subscribe to the YouTube channel, and do follow the links down below to the Twitch and everything else. Till next time, I'll see ya. Thank you and goodbye.